I know I feel a little short here today. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Bean here, and today I'm coming at you with my anticipated releases for the month of August. Now, August, I originally had thought that there weren't going to be too many releases that I was super looking forward to, but then I found 18 of them. So grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's get started. I'm going to start with August 4th as the first date, and the first book that I'm going to talk about is Lobizona, Wolves of No World, #1 by Romina Garber, aka Romina Russell, who wrote the Zodiac series, which we did read in our Serpent and Badger book club. So Lobizona follows an undocumented immigrant named Manuela Azul, who's on the run from her father's Argentine crime family. Right there, it had my attention. At the beginning of the story, Manuela is laying low in Miami with her surrogate grandmother when her grandmother is attacked and her mother is arrested by the ICE. So begins her journey to try and figure out the secrets of her history. This story draws upon Argentine folklore, the lore being that the 7th daughter is a bruja or a witch, and the 7th son is a lobizon, which is a werewolf. So I am intrigued by this. I love the cover of this book. I did find when I read Romina Russell before that her world is very interesting and unique, and her characters definitely have solid personalities. And I'm anxious to see how her writing has changed over the years and see about this whole story, because I am very intrigued by this concept and I absolutely love it. The next book that I'm going to bring up is a sequel, and that is Harrow the 9th, The Locked Tomb #2 by Tamsyn Muir. This is the second book in a trilogy, and it is the sequel to Gideon the 9th. Now, Gideon the 9th, I'm not going to talk too much about Harrow the 9th because it is the second book, but Gideon the 9th is a sci-fi story that takes place in a galaxy, basically, or in a universe where each planet is its own kingdom, and these kingdoms are sorted into a sort of caste system by number. We follow a character named Gideon from the 9th house, which is basically known as the House of Death, and it follows our necromancer, Harrow, and things happen, and it was so much fun. I'm trying really hard not to do any spoilers here, but I highly recommend Gideon the 9th for anybody who is a fan of high fantasy, high sci-fi, and it is an adult book. There are blood, guts, and gore. It is a lesbian romance, and it is an amazing story, and I cannot wait to continue with it. The next book that comes out on the 4th that I'm going to talk about is called The Game by Linsey Miller. Now, Linsey Miller is an author that I have read before. She wrote the Mask of the Shadows duology, which I absolutely fell in love with. But The Game is described as Agatha Christie's ABC Murders meets Riverdale, which right there, as you may have noticed, I am a big fan of Agatha Christie. So this story follows a senior class who play a yearly game of Assassin, kind of to commemorate the end of their senior year. And what Assassin is, for those of you who don't know, is it's basically a version of the game Ghosts in the Graveyard, if you ever played that as a kid. I know we did all the time in our neighborhood, but it's kind of like a very, very big high stakes hide and seek game. So it's a lot of fun normally. But in this version, all of a sudden people are dying. And the people who are dying are Abby Asher, Ben Bernard, Cassidy Clare. And so it's following the concept of the ABC murders from Agatha Christie, where people with their initials being the same letter are the ones dying, and they're dying in order, which I have to say is kind of funny for a high school to have all of these, but we're not going to get into that. The main character's name is Leah, and she is struggling to try and figure out what is happening and to try and save her classmates and her love interest, who I believe has the letters D as his initials. So I'm super excited. I loved Linsey Miller's writing before, and I'm super psyched for this one. The next book I am going to talk about is The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. This is a sci-fi story in which multiverse travel is possible. So parallel universes, traveling between parallel universes. However, you are unable to travel to another universe where your doppelganger or your counterpart in that world is alive. This is where Kara comes in. She is our main character, and her doppelgangers or counterparts seem to have this habit of dying a lot. And so she is hired by an institute in order to collect information about the other universes and about the whole multiverse traveling thing, because she's one of the few people that can travel through multiple universes. However, one of her counterparts ends up dying under mysterious circumstances, and it turns out that there's this huge plot that is endangering the multiverse. This is a debut novel, and it is an LGBTQ plus novel as well. So that's pretty cool to have those as well. I'm really intrigued by this concept. I really want to get more into reading more sci-fi, and this seems like a perfect place to start. The next book I have a lot on the 4th, is They Wish They Were Us, the first book in the Player's Table series by Jesica Goodman. This, all I know about it really is it's Gossip Girl meets One of Us is Lying with a dash of The Secret History. I'm sold right there. I'm totally down. It's a murder mystery set at a Long Island prep school, which sounds like a cliche, but it's a cliche. It's a trope that I love, and I am here for the murder mysteries. So the last book that I want to talk about that comes out on the 4th is Seven Devils. This is the first book in a feminist space opera duology. Do I need to say more? It's by Laura Lam and Elizabeth May, and now this follows 7 resistance fighters who will try and free the galaxy from a ruthless empire, or they will die trying. Our main character, whose name is Eris, fakes her own death in order to get away from the ruling family, which she was a part of, and she didn't want to inherit it. So I love this cover as well. It's another sci-fi story, and apparently for me, August is the month of sci-fi stories I want to read. I don't know what's going on here, guys, but I am super psyched for this book. It sounds so interesting. And honestly, a feminist space opera, I'm sold. I'm good. That's all I need to hear. Now, I have a couple honorable mentions that I'm also going to bring up right here. The first one is The Girl and the Ghost by Hanna Alkaf. This is a middle grade novel, and it follows a girl and a ghost where the ghost's counterpart is evil and they have to stop the evil counterpart. So I thought that was cool. The next one is Martinez and The Moonlit Beginning of Everything by Raquel Vasquez, Gilliland. This is another one I've just kind of been drawn to these covers as of late, so that's where that one came from. Paola, Santiago, and The River of Tears by Tehlor, Mejia. I actually have an arc of this, and I'm very excited to be reading it soon. Vanessa Yu's Magical Paris Tea Shop by Roselle Lim. I loved the last book I read by Roselle Lim, and I am super excited to see more into her magical realism world that always includes delicious sounding food. And the last one is Set Fire to the Gods by Sara, Raasch, and Kristen Simmons. I feel like I don't really need to say anything about this one because I'm just super excited about it. Gladiators, and it's Sara, Raasch, and Kristen Simmons, so I'm good. I'm totally down for this one. Alright, the next date I'm moving on to is August 11th, where I only have one book that's coming out. I used a lot on the 4th, but that is Star Daughter by Shveta Thakrar. This follows Shveta, the daughter of a star and a mortal, and when a blaze of her starlight harms her mortal father, she ends up on a journey in order to try and find a true, full star to help heal her father. She finds herself at the celestial court of shining wonders and dark shadows, where she becomes her family's champion in a competition to decide the next ruling house of the heavens. Or she'll not be able to return to Earth ever again. So either win or lose everything. Again, another one of those tropes that is everywhere, but I am totally here for it. And this cover, guys, it's gorgeous. I mean, seriously, are you looking at this? It's gorgeous. The next date I'm moving on to is August 18th, and the first book I want to talk about is called 6 Angry Girls by Adrienne Kisner. This surprisingly enough, follows 6 angry girls. So the main 2 girls in this story, the first one we meet is Raina Petrie, who is having an amazing senior year until basically everything goes wrong. Her boyfriend dumps her, she gets kicked out of the drama club, her dream college rejects her, and it just, lots of stuff happens and she's not happy about it. The second girl we meet is Millie Goodwin, who is kicked out of the all-boys mock trial team, so a debate team, even though she has spent the past 3 years attempting to get this trial all in order. So she feels very betrayed by that. And Raina finds a new purpose in knitting and finds her yarn at a politically active local yarn store. There, she inspires Millie to start a new rival debate team, and they recruit 4 other angry girls to take on mock trial and smash the patriarchy in the process while they're at it. I just am so here for a feminist story that's all about girls just being pissed off at things. So I am super excited for this one. I love the cover. I love how different each of these girls are, and I'm super excited for this. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Raybearer, which is the first book in the Raybearer series by Jordan Ifueko. I think I said that right, and I'm really sorry if I didn't. I couldn't find a good translation or a good pronunciation online. This follows Tarisai, who is desperate to belong somewhere, and when her mother, who is a very powerful person, only known as the Lady, asks her to get close to the crown prince, she decides that that sounds great, she'll have a place to belong. But then the Lady asks her to get close enough to the crown prince so that she can kill him. And she has to wonder if she really wants to spend her life being someone else's pawn in order to have a place to belong. And I am so intrigued by this story. This cover, oh my gosh. Pick it up because of the cover, guys. But I am super intrigued by this story. I think it looks so interesting and so unique. And I want to read it so bad right now. I just do, guys. Honorable mention for August 18th is The Notorious Virtues by Alwyn Hamilton, which is the first book in a new series as well. And this one mostly, honestly, because of that gorgeous cover. Last date that I have here is the 25th of August. The first book that I want to talk about is a book that I'm basically just going to read to you what the Goodreads summary says, because that's all it took for me to be like, yep, I'm reading it. It's called Iron Spark by C.M. McGuire, and what it says is, a teen outcast must work together with new friends to keep her family and town safe from murderous fae, while also dealing with panic attacks, family issues, and a lesbian love triangle. Do we need anything else? No, I didn't think so. That's all I need to know. I am here for it. I am so excited for this book, and I really like the simplicity of this cover as well. So, in case you can't tell, I'm big on the cover buys and the cover intrigues. So, good cover, I will probably pick it up. The last book that I'm going to talk about is called Architects of Memory by Karen Osborne. This is the first book in a new series called The Memory War, and this follows a terminally ill salvage pilot named Ash, who is not willing to give up her life to this stupid disease. And so she has a plan. With her crew, she's going to buy, beg, or lie her way out of corporate indenture and find a cure for this disease that she has. But then her crew salvages a genocidal weapon above a dead colony, and it leads them to uncovering a conspiracy of corporate intrigue and betrayal. And that just sounds way too much like Firefly for me to not want to read this. So, excited again. The last 2 honorable mentions that I have for this are Ink and Sigil by Kevin Hearn and Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angeles. And that's what I have for you guys here today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If I missed any books that you were excited about, please leave them down below in the comments. I would love to get more books because Lord knows the 600 books I have are not enough. But honestly, guys, I want to hear your thoughts. If you're looking forward to any of these books, please let me know. I am super excited about it. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. and hit the subscribe button down below. We post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and if you want to be notified whenever we post these new videos, you can hit the little bell icon down below as well. We have some important links down in the description, as well as all of our social media and blogs and everything you can find down in the description below. So, I will see you guys next time. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye!